Welcome to a special post-WrestleMania Night 1 edition of the Justin and Joe Wrestling Spectacular Show. I am one of your hosts, Justin Core. The other, right there, Joe Paris. Joe, how you doing?
I thought that was a really good WrestleMania for everything, that we've gone through over the last few weeks. I thought that was one of the best entertainment spectacles that you could put on TV under the circumstances. That was great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Of course, this whole conversation we have is under the auspice of it would have been much better in front of 80,000 screaming fans, and it would have been much better if it was the actual WrestleMania in Tampa. But for what it's worth, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, Joe, for me, quite frankly, it didn't feel like WrestleMania. If they weren't going to delay it, this is the best they could do. So in my opinion, they maybe should have delayed it. Though as we go match by match, I think we'll see that all the matches were good, if not, real good. Well, say maybe one or two. But yeah, I'm again, this is the best they could do. So all things considered, pretty good show, but really didn't feel like WrestleMania. So we're going to give you a quick video rundown real quick of all these matches, and then we'll release a full audio podcast in just a few moments. But welcome to our YouTube channel. I think we got our first subscriber today, Matt Hartgrave. Matt, thanks.
All
Love
right.
you,
Hey, what's our page called? Get us a plug-in.
What?
What's
the
the
YouTube page is called the same as the podcast, Justin and Joe Wrestling Spectacular Show.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you're watching that here right now, then yeah, good for you. So let's start. Let's just go in order. Joe, what do you think?
Do you want to start on
tag team match for the titles? Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. My pick, Bliss and Cross. They win it. I say thumbs up. What you think?
Thumbs up. I thought it was a really good match. It was a tricky match because it was going to set the tone for the night, and they had a really good wrestling match. I love the intensity, especially from the Kabuki Warriors. A fun match to start the night, and to me, it made me think, you know what, this could be pretty good. So thumbs up for me.
Yeah, again, I looked at that and I saw the work, and I'm like, this will be all right. It won't be a great WrestleMania. It'll be memorable, maybe for all the wrong reasons, but yeah, great work from everyone. As we said, Thursday, 4 great performers. Really glad that Cross was really put over here as being really tough. And yeah, Bliss and Cross win. Ooh. We'll talk more on the audio podcast about sort of the Kabuki Warriors' reign as tag champs, which I think was not great and sort of wasted, but still all around solid match. That's a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Elias versus King Corbin, one of your favorites. Joe, what you think?
It was fine. It's one of the matches where it's probably going to get the same reaction in this setting as it would in a live audience. So, no, I'm just kidding. I thought it was, for what it was fine. It was a story-based match. They set it up. They show King Corbin sending Elias to his death before the match, from SmackDown a few weeks back. And there was clearly some post-production on this match, but I actually thought it was fine. Elias with the win. Thumb up for me.
No, for me, thumbs down. My pick, Elias did win it, but I like both these guys. And this was fine, as you said. It was a fine match. But fine isn't good enough for WrestleMania, Joe.
I thought it was going to be overwhelmingly boring and stupid, and I came away being like, that was fine. That was a wrestling match. That was fine. And so to me, it exceeded expectations.
It was a wrestling match, so then just put it on Raw. Something like that. This was their opportunity to get Gronk involved, and they didn't, and they should have. Instead, he was involved with the 24/7 title later, which, my goodness, we won't talk about. But yeah.
I bet he finishes the weekend with the title. Gronkowski. Thumbs down for you? All right. Well, let's go.
Raw Women's Championship.
Yes.
Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Joe.
First of all, I'm glad they still did the entrance with the Becky Lynch truck. The Big Mac truck they had, the big semi truck, they already bought it, so I'm glad they at least drove it down that small street next to the Performance Center so she could walk by it.
A few times they've done that a few times. I mean, yeah, those things aren't cheap, so might as well get your money's worth. Absolutely. So I'm gonna say thumbs up, though barely. I thought Baszler was going to win. She didn't. Lynch won to retain. This, though, honestly, was one of my favorite Baszler matches ever. But it ended way too quickly. Like that line in the gif from Godzilla, King of Monsters. Let them fight. For crying out loud. They should have done 10 more minutes. And I mean, I love them going at it. Just as I realized their styles mesh pretty well, they're just brawlers. And they just beat the tar out of each other. But for it felt like just 10 minutes. And then they were done. Sort of a sneaky win by Lynch. And it's like, oh, okay. Again, a good match to be on Raw, but not for WrestleMania. Though still slight thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up for me. I thought it was a really good wrestling match. I wish it would have gone about 10 minutes more, but Lynch gets a good win. It felt like a competitive sports bout, so I liked the feel of the match. I'm sure we'll get another match. I'm hoping at SummerSlam we get a big, maybe a big stipulation match between the two of them. Lynch is still champ, though, so that continues.
That does continue. As we talked about Thursday, we thought at least I thought, a lot of these matches were going to just serve as builds to SummerSlam, which was now going to be their actual biggest show of the year instead of WrestleMania. So, yeah, I think that's what this match certainly does.
I forgot to say something about the beginning, the first match with the title change. That was important to me for setting the tone in the tag match because it showed it wasn't going to be like a Saudi Arabia show where there wasn't title changes and stuff. This is a show that mattered. They're going to do angles. They're going to do title changes. So to me as a fan, that was comforting to see in the first match. So that sets up another title match. Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. This was my favorite match that took place in the Performance Center. 2 thumbs up for me. I'll explain the qualifier later on. But did you like it?
So this is another thumbs up, barely, because we thought this could steal the show. It did not. It was a fine match, though, better than Elias versus King Corbin. I loved it. And then again, way too quick of an ending. It was a snug match throughout. I loved the psychology of these guys. I love the fact that the first 6 minutes they didn't even touch, just sort of teasing it. And then they got to wrestling, and that was great. And then it was over, and it's like, oh, come on. I wanted a half an hour from these guys. I wanted a classic, and it wasn't.
I thought it was great. I love the atmosphere at ringside with some commotion going on the outside with something happening around out there. I thought the mat work, the wrestling in the match was really good. It's funny. It's not funny. It's a serious situation, but Daniel Bryan, and he doesn't even care if there's an audience there. He's still throwing himself so hard head first into the barricade in this match. He did everything he could, though. It was a great match. He beat the crap out of Sami Zayn for whatever it was, 10, 15 minutes. And then Zayn gets the crazy, haluva kick, a little fluky as Daniel Bryan comes off the top rope. But of the 2 Ring of Honor showcase matches on tonight's card, I thought this might have been better by a little bit. I loved it. Thumbs up for me.
Still thumbs up for me, but I don't think as good as it could have or should have been. SmackDown Tag Team Championship ladder match with singles. John Morrison versus Kofi versus Jimmy Uso. Michael Cole. My pick Morrison, and Morrison wins. I'm right again. Dang, I'm smart. If anyone who doesn't know, again, we talked about this Thursday. Tune into the podcast. If you miss it, you miss a lot. I changed this match. It was going to be the tag teams. Miz showed up sick to the taping. They sent him home. The Usos got in Roman Reigns here apparently and said, bro, you need to go home. You're a 2-time cancer survivor. So he did. Made it a single representative from each team. And I mean, it was a entertaining, crazy car crash of a match. A lot of great athletic moves, especially from John Morrison. That dude's 40 years old, like me, and I can tell you, wow, I cannot move like that, and I don't have the 24 abs that he has. He has side abs. I don't know how that's possible at 40 years old. But great, yeah. I thought to this point this was the best match of the night.
Yeah, that was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to watch. Thumbs up for me. It's great. I have nothing bad to say about it. It was what it was. The ending was a little fluky with Morrison falling to his death, grabbing the titles, but it was clever, it was creative, it was a little silly, but this is still WWE.
I think it needs to be that way though, because I mean, if he makes a slow climb up the ladder and then grabs the titles, who's there to cheer?
Yeah. So
I think it needs to be fluky, and it was creative. I'd never seen that before, so yeah. Might as well go for it. Moving on, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
Ring of Honor Showcase match number 2. That's
right. Ooh, Ring of Honor. They turn out some folks there, some wrestlers. Thumbs way up for me. This was the match of the night for me. Owens won. That wasn't my pick. I thought Rollins was going to win. They were going to continue even going. But there was actually a point in the match where I thought it was going to end early again, too early. I was crazy disappointed when Rollins hit Owens with the ring bell for a disqualification. Thank goodness Owens gets on the mic and says, no, let's finish this, restarts the thing, and it was great, stiff, work throughout. Certainly when it turned into a no DQ match, that stair shot was stiff. That elbow off the sign from Owens is going to be one of the highlights, maybe the highlight that's replayed over and over and over of this WrestleMania. Great match, great win for Owens.
Thumbs up for me. I loved it. I think that dive off the WrestleMania set will become iconic. That'll be played in a lot of WrestleMania video packages. Thumbs up for me. I loved it.
Yeah, and even we saw in some of these matches some creative editing to sort of hide some spaces, some awkwardness. I mean, you can. There's no way you can edit that to make it totally safe. I mean, it's Kevin Owens jumping a couple stories off that sign and landing back first on an announce table. It was great, amazing, and then here we go, Joe. Are you ready for this? The Universal Championship match. Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Big thumbs up from me. Joe, who was my pick to win this Thursday night, even before we were sure it was going to be Braun Strowman?
You picked Braun Strowman. Okay, so you're giving oh my God. You're giving a thumbs up for the results.
Best, buddy.
No, you cannot give this a thumbs up. You're giving it a thumbs up for the results. No, that was garbage.
Exactly.
No.
Because that's part of the match.
No. That was terrible. Thumbs down. That was the worst thing on the show.
What? Whoa.
What was worse than that? What was worse than that?
Check Twitter. It was Elias versus King Corbin. It absolutely was. Or the 24/7 championship.
They each did 4 moves, and then that was it. There was no transition moves or holds or anything. They both did the same move 4 times, and then Strowman got the pin. That was an atrocity for a WrestleMania world title match. Are you kidding me?
Well, it wasn't a world title match, a Universal.
Oh, excuse me, Universal. That's bigger. Oh, hi, boss.
You're absolutely right that it's a big thumbs up for me because of the result, because that title is off Goldberg now. Strowman finally gets his Universal title run, probably way too late and in front of no one. But the result is part of the match, and that's why it gives a big thumbs up to me. I mean, and also it's like, what do you want to? You want to watch 10 minutes of wrestling from Goldberg? No, you don't. No one does. Give me. I said Thursday night it was going to be a bad match that lasted 2 minutes. Instead, it was an okay match that lasted 3 minutes. So Goldberg really working overtime, and I think this sets up SummerSlam, Reigns versus Strowman in a match that Vince McMahon is going to salivate over for super main event. Bottom line, Goldberg, even though we have the same beard, Goldberg gone. We don't have to think about him or worry about him anymore. And yeah, Brown Snowman finally gets the strap on him. Good for him.
I'll agree with you that I'm excited for SummerSlam. We'll get into more of this on our podcast. Let's move on to the main event of the evening. In my opinion, the best thing on this show. This wasn't a wrestling match. It was The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match, what ended up being basically like a 30-minute fight scene from the end of the movie that you didn't see. So it's like seeing the final act of a movie, so you don't really know what the plot is. I mean, you know, as a wrestling fan, obviously what the build to this was. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was about as best as you can do with this. And I think all Undertaker matches should be like this. I think he should have one final in-ring match, but the rest of his career, he should do things like this. I loved it without like really setting up a story. You know what the Undertaker's character is. He's the old man he's a tough guy. He's a real butt kicker. And then you have AJ who's, he's kind of a punk. He's kind of an upstart. And it's just, as a non-wrestling fan, I think people would enjoy it. As a wrestling fan, I loved it. Haley gave it a big thumb up. I gave it thumbs up. Great stuff there. I'll give WWE credit. They historically did not do well with these video-produced matches, like when Randy Orton burned down Bray Wyatt's nice little home. That wasn't great. The at-home segment with Brian Pillman back in the day when he pulled a gun out, that was a bit much.
You think?
Yeah, that was a bit much, in terms of trying to think outside the box. But, to me, this was awesome. It was perfect. Vince McMahon finally got his dream. They're finally really making movies. This was the furthest thing away from pro wrestling. This wasn't pro wrestling. It was a fight scene, and I loved it.
It was a fight scene. It was, very Lucha Underground-ish. If you've never seen Lucha Underground, well, you saw about 30 minutes of it tonight. Thumbs way up from me. Like you, I wouldn't call it the match of the night, but it was the thing of the night, the vignette of the night, the short film of the night. And I tweeted about this, whether to you, if it was crazy, if you thought it was cool, if you thought it was fun, if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was stupid, if you thought it was ridiculous. It was a lot of all that. And I think that's when wrestling, whatever it is at its best. When they just go all in. They're like, you know what, hey, this is the best we can do. They're going to have a boneyard match. Let's just do it. Let's go all in. Let's make it a long fight scene. And you're right. This is the best that The Undertaker is ever going to look. This should either be his last match, or certainly this should be the only sort of fighting or matches that he has from here on out. Because he looked great. Yeah, that's The Undertaker that I remember right there. Just, he's older, that's fine, but he can still kick butt, and he can, take out the young 43-year-old punk that is AJ Styles. Also, you gotta love Gallows and Anderson getting involved. They had to love that as well. So tune into the next Talking Shop, where I'm sure they'll go ape on that. Apparently,
AJ Styles' Wikipedia page has been changed. He has now been declared dead. He died. So.
Well, it's
rest in peace, Uncle Alan.
If you read it on the internet, it's true. Also, if it's on a gravestone, that's your second source right there. That's two sources. It's confirmed. AJ Styles is dead.
Okay, hold on. The WWE production team or whoever wrote this could not help themselves having a corny finish where they have this tombstone, this headstone that's covered up with moss, and he pulls it away. The Undertaker pulls it away to reveal it says AJ Styles, whatever, 1976 through 2020. It's oh my Jesus, oh my goodness.
Well, hold on. I was okay with that. I'm like, all right, and that's sort of classic Undertaker is putting his opponents' names on tombstones. He's been doing that forever. The worst part is AJ Styles' hand just sticking up out of the dirt. It's
it's like Left 4 Dead, his broken hand.
Yeah, but it's it was stiff, so it's rigor mortis. It already set in. Really, that's awfully early.
Well, it took a while for Undertaker to put all that dirt on top of him.
He did. He milked it.
Took him 20 minutes to get in the John Deere. Anyways, all right, let's run down the night 2 WrestleMania card real quickly, and we'll wrap up this video portion of our podcast, and then we'll hop over to the audio channel and do that. But real quick, we'll run down the card. The kickoff show will have Natalya versus Liv Morgan. That'll be fine. Something to put on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going in no particular order here. This is just the list of matches. I don't know what order this will go in, but this may be a good guess. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Very excited for that.
Very over. That feud is very over. One of the most over feuds heading into tomorrow night. It'll be hopefully it's a lot of fun. Although I hate the fact that they blew one of the big reveals last night on SmackDown, where it's this hacker who just sort of revealed who was behind all those texts and everything. So that, I think, really takes a lot of steam out of the match, unfortunately.
And that's Mustafa Ali, right? That's got to be Mustafa Ali.
Oh, that makes sense with the circle of lights. Okay. That makes a lot of sense, because I thought I was getting, they were throwing up, those videos, that static and everything, like for months during interviews and stuff. I think mostly that Ziggler or Mandy or whomever was involved in, and I was getting those conflated with Killer Cross's little things that they throw up. Obviously, Killer Cross is in NXT, and yeah, it looks like Mustafa Ali likely is still on the main roster, which makes sense.
So there's that match. Okay, next match, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. So that's fine.
Whatever. Hopefully it's quick. I know you love Lashley. He's a Colorado guy, but yeah, I thought there was a chance Aleister Black might be involved in the Undertaker match. He wasn't. Kind of disappointing. That's a waste of him, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. So that'll be a match. Raw Tag Team Championship, the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. By the way, I was going to say this the other night and I forgot. Austin Theory looks like Lars Sullivan Jr. Like with his little beard and his hair, the way he does it, he kind of looks like Lars Sullivan Jr. So I don't know.
Does he? I do not see that at all.
Remember when everyone thought Lars Sullivan was destined to main event this WrestleMania? Yikes.
Yeah. Well, they're if we're trying to wrap up, we should not have started a conversation about Lars Sullivan. Yeah. So let's just move on.
We'll move on. So Street Profits versus Theory and Garza. That'll be fine. Should be a fun match. Hopefully the Profits win. Okay, SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina versus Naomi versus Sasha Banks in an elimination match for the championship.
For the championship, yeah. They put Tamina over last night, so that was kind of cool. They want to make sure, hey, she's a threat. She's not actually a threat to win this match, but good for her getting a W. This sets up probably a feud between Sasha and Bayley. But yeah, should be a good, fun, crazy, multi-person match, which really there are not a ton of on this WrestleMania when there are normally a ton of triple threat, 4-person matches, stuff like that. So yeah, should be just fine.
NXT Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. We talked about this at length on the podcast. Should be a fine wrestling match. Justin, I know what result you were praying for. We'll see what happens there.
I'm not praying for it.
Yeah.
I just think Ripley will win. Not a massive fan of Charlotte. I can respect her. Both these wrestlers can go. So I think could be a great match. As far as work rate, it may steal the show.
Well, we'll see about that.
Just because
there's something else on this show.
Work all happened tonight.
Well, there's something else on the show that I think will do that. That's why I say that. I think this will be a great match. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. John Cena versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match. I am now very, very excited for this after they proved to me tonight with the Boneyard match that they could do something like this responsibly. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. By the way, John Cena, Bray Wyatt, they have a T-shirt together where it says like Firefly Funhouse. It says like I was there, and it's crossed out, and it says I was home. I'll text it to you. It's a really cool shirt. I think WWE's done a good job with the merchandising of WrestleMania. So I'm excited for that.
they're trying. It's buy one get one right now, I guess. So maybe y'all can jump on that.
It's tempting.
And you're right. I think they proved with the Boneyard. It's like, look, these sort of short film matches aren't going to win Oscars, but they'll be crazy, fun, funny, ridiculous, stupid, whatever. But it's just they're going to go all in. So God bless them. It's going to be crazy.
Edge versus Randy Orton, last man standing. To me, this will steal the show. This will be the best thing on the show tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I don't know what last man standing means. I don't know if they leave the arena or not. By the way, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, it wasn't a Performance Center match in the sense where they were going all over the place attacking each other. It just was in the building like every other match on the card, by the way. But yeah, Edge, Randy Orton should be good.
Yeah, Edge, Randy Orton, as we've talked about, the best build of any match. So it'll have a lot of that emotion. And I think people are really excited to see Randy Orton get the tar kicked out of him, and for Edge to do it. I'm guessing Beth Phoenix will definitely be involved, and should be. You'd expect brutal and emotional and violent, and probably, hopefully, steal the show, but we'll see.
Main event for night 2 of WrestleMania. So you would call this, I guess, the ultimate main event. Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Justin, I was watching Drew McIntyre's 24 right before we started this. It actually probably just ended. I'll probably go back and finish it. Watching it for 20 minutes got me even more excited. The journey Drew McIntyre's been on, it's a shame. If he wins tomorrow, this is the way it ends. But what a great setup for the match. I think Lesnar-McIntyre should be a lot of fun. I hope they give him 25 minutes. I hope they go 25 minutes. But we'll see.
I don't think they're going to give him 25. I think sort of 10 frenetic, violent minutes between these guys will work perfect. As I said before, I hope, honestly, and this is the first time I've said this, I think Brock hopefully wins so that Drew can get that pop that he really deserves again at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Very good. All right, so that'll be night 2 of WrestleMania. We're gonna hop off our video portion here. We're gonna go do an audio podcast. But all right, Justin, this was a trial. We'll see if this works out. Maybe we'll do me interviewing this digital Justin again.
Digital Justin is great. He's a lot less.
Do you want to show off your title?
Sweaty than real life Justin.
Let me see that title. You want to hold up the title real quick?
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
I forgot that was on my shoulder.
Yeah. Haley, can you snap a picture of Justin and I, Haley? Okay. Haley's here too. She liked the show. All right, get your title up there.
Pay attention to the banner. But like and subscribe the YouTube channel, our channel. We're going to be doing a lot more videos. Certainly subscribe to the podcast as well. You're going to get stuff there that you won't get here on YouTube. But we're trying to really push the content out there. Joe and I are content creators now. So if you like what we're doing, great. If you don't, then hate watch us.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to step aside for now. Alongside Justin, I'm Joe. That was the Video Wrestling Spectacular Show. We'll see you soon, hopefully.